On this Tuesday morning, we begin with major breaking news. The Air Canada strike is over. And that is according to both the company, Air Canada, and CUPE, the union that represents 10,000 flight attendants. The union released this statement just moments ago, saying the strike has ended and a tentative agreement has been reached. CUPE says they're required to advise members to return to work and to fully cooperate with the resumption of operations. It goes on to say the union negotiated from 7 p.m. last night until 4:23 this morning, reaching at that point the tentative agreement, which still has to be ratified by the members. But this effectively puts an end to days of cancellations and disruptions, and Air Canada, as a result, is set to gradually resume service today. So far, more than 500,000 travelers have been affected by the strikes. Hundreds of flights have been canceled. Air Canada, as I mentioned, says it will gradually begin resuming operations as the day goes on after reaching this settlement. So we are awaiting details of the new deal, including the details on those key sticking points, wages and ground pay. And we'll be bringing you more information as we get it throughout the morning. But let's take you right away to Brett Ruskin, who's going to lead off our coverage. He's inside Stanfield International Airport, which is in Halifax. Brett, coming on air with a whole breaking story to tell the country this morning. So let's go through the details we have so far.
Good morning, Heather. How fresh is this news? Let me tell you about a moment that just happened moments ago. I was here collecting the updates and the information that I'm going to tell you about in just a moment, but the Air Canada workers behind me didn't know about this tentative agreement that had been agreed to. I kind of wandered over and there was a group of Air Canada workers around me hearing the update I'm about to give now, that we have reached a tentative agreement. The union and the company, as you mentioned, they've been working overnight from 7 p.m. until 4:23 a.m. trying to sort out this deal. So this deal has been reached, obviously still needs to be ratified by all of the membership, the 10,000 flight attendants. So folks here haven't seen the deal, don't know what's in it, don't know what the details are, don't know what they're voting on yet. But part of that deal is contingent on the unionized workers going back to work and beginning the process of resuming operations. That won't be an immediate thing. It never was going to be an immediate kind of snap your fingers and have all the flights back. We know from management, from the company, that it'll take multiple days, perhaps up to a week, for operations to be fully restored, fully back to where they were pre-labor disruption. And so that's going to take certainly some time. So still a matter of, if you do have flights, checking to see if those flights have been canceled. Some relatively good news. I'm looking at a flight board just over here at the Halifax Stanfield Airport. And even before this news came down, there were some flights, some Air Canada flights that were still operating. So it was certainly good news for those lucky passengers who were still able to fly Air Canada today. And that number of passengers able to fly Air Canada is going to increase in the days ahead as service resumes. So once again, the big news, the strike is over. No more picketing out front here in front of the Halifax Stanfield Airport or any of the airports across the country, with again a tentative agreement reached between the union and the company, Air Canada, with again a ratification vote set to come in likely the days and weeks ahead. Heather.
Brett, thank you very much. Brett Ruskin is going to lead things off from Stanfield in Halifax. Marianne Demain is going to join us as well on coverage of all of that. While Brett was reporting to you live, though, and we would expect this story to roll out gradually through the morning, we do have a statement just in from Air Canada, which I will share with you. We'll go through it in detail on this first go-round, and then, of course, keep coming back to the news as we get advances in it. But Air Canada said it will gradually restart its operations today. It had talked about 4 p.m. this afternoon. We don't have a firm time in this statement, but today, after reaching this mediated agreement through the process overseen by William Kaplan, the mutually agreed to mediator. And they talked about these discussions to get them back to work immediately to allow the airline to resume operations both on Air Canada and Air Canada Rouge flights. The statement from Air Canada's CEO and president: the suspension of our service is extremely difficult for our customers. We deeply regret and apologize for the impact on them of this labor disruption. Our priority now is to get them moving as quickly as possible. So they're going to restart this major carrier, which they call a very complex undertaking. Full restoration, Air Canada says, may require a week or more. So the company is asking for patience. So that's sort of a 7 to 10 day window they're talking about before regular service resumes fully. And then it goes on to give the process, and we'll keep coming back to remind you of this. Again, only customers with confirmed bookings whose flights are shown on the airport listing should go to the airport. Air Canada will offer options to anyone with canceled flights. That's including the possibility of full refund or credit for future travel. And we'll also try to rebook customers on other airlines. That's been the process, with a very limited capacity being a little bit of a limitation. We don't expect a comment from Air Canada. It says in this lengthy statement that it will not comment until the ratification process is complete. So this is all that we're hearing from the company to this point in this statement. Now, what is coming out in terms of media reports? This is the Associated Press. We don't have this anywhere else yet, but we'll look to confirm this. But the Associated Press is saying this. The union says the agreement will guarantee members pay for work performed while planes are on the ground, resolving one of the major issues that drove the strike. So we will be looking into that further. Obviously, the issue of ground pay has been crucial to all of this discussion and dispute. This is the breaking news. The strike over, the resumption of service set to begin later today, but it's going to take 7 to 10 days before fully resuming services at the country's largest carrier.